former Mineral Resources Deputy Director General Joel Raphela, who was appearing in court on fraud charges, has been rushed to hospital. Raphela, former Tegeta directors Ronica Ragavan and Optimum coal mine former trustee Pushpaveni Govender were appearing together. They were arrested for alleged fraud related to a dodgy 100 million rand deal. Please note that the following visuals may offend some viewers. But proceedings were interrupted when the court ordered that Raphela be taken to hospital. The former Deputy Director General was struggling to speak during court proceedings. The magistrate says she was informed that he has a heart condition. The accused are facing charges related to money laundering, corruption, theft, forgery, perjury and fraud. SABC News senior reporter Chriselda is covering this story for us. Let's cross to her live. Thank you very much for joining us, Chriselda. What is the latest?
Well, Nompo, the latest is that two of the accused that you just mentioned have been granted a 20,000 rand bail each. However, Mr. Joel Raphela, who is one of the other accused in this matter, as you correctly point out, the former Deputy Director General in the Department of Mineral Resources, he is still currently on a wheelchair behind us here in court. The court authorities are still waiting for an ambulance to be brought here to the Randburg Magistrates Court. He was struggling a bit earlier on in conversation with the magistrate when she asked him where his legal representative was. He said that he had called a legal representative, but that person did not arrive here in court. There was an adjournment where the presiding magistrate had then gone to make several telephone calls. At the time when the magistrate had tried to converse with the former Deputy Director General within the Mineral Resources Department, he was struggling to respond to some of the questions that were being asked. And once there was an adjournment, he had been taken down together with the other two accused to the holding cells here. When he was brought up, he was unable to walk, and subsequently the court then ordered that an ambulance be brought here to the Randburg Magistrates Court. That has not yet arrived at this particular point. Mr. Joel Raphela is still sitting behind us, I think, at this particular point, due to sensitivities because of his condition. And what we've also heard from the presiding magistrate is that he may be suffering from a heart condition. So he is going to be taken to hospital. We're still waiting for the ambulance to arrive here at the Randburg Magistrates Court. But all of this is related to alleged involvement in a dodgy deal in which it's believed, or the accusation at this point, based on the charges that all three are facing, of amongst the charges, fraud, perjury, forgery, are some of the charges that they're facing. The allegation is that there might have been this 100 million rand dodgy deal that may have been signed off from the Department of Mineral Resources to these two particular mines. So that's what we know at this particular stage. Mr. Joel Raphela remains, how do I put it, remains under arrest, if I may. He's not yet been granted bail, and the court has ordered that he return at a later stage for him then to go through the process of applying for bail. The two other accused have been granted bail. So what we're waiting for at this particular stage is for that ambulance to arrive here at the Randburg Magistrates Court. I'm going to bring in now the National Prosecuting Authorities, Cindy Twala. Ms. Twala, very good afternoon to you. Thanks indeed for your time. An unfortunate turn of events in court this morning. One of the accused will be taken to hospital once that ambulance arrives. He remains under arrest. He's not yet been granted bail. Some clarity on that.
So you heard that the court today was initially hesitant in order to not proceed with his matter. First and foremost, he came to court and he was not legally represented. The magistrate felt that it would be a disadvantage to him. Many efforts, many resources were taken for him to try and reach out to a legal representative, because he had initially mentioned that he had called his legal representative to come to court. However, time went by when the magistrate then decided then it's best that we proceed with the other accused. However, that emergency services be called in order to take him out in court. You saw that he was taken out with he was pushed out with a wheelchair out of court in order to be able to get that urgent medical attention. So what will happen now is that he'll continue to be in police custody even when the ambulance comes. After being treated, he'll continue to be in police custody until another date can be arranged for him to come to court when he is legally represented. However, as the state, we have said with the other two accused that we had no intentions to oppose bail.
All three are facing charges including fraud, forgery, perjury. Those are just some of the charges centered around this matter. What is the allegation at this stage pertaining to this 100 million rand deal, which is alleged to be dodgy?
So the allegations currently is that two transactions took place, 100 million and 7.5 million, so about 107.5 million in terms of a trust for two companies, two mines, Gorenfontein Mine as well as Optimum Coal Mine Trust. So those funds were supposed to be kept for the rehabilitation of a mine once it's sold off or once it closes down. Those funds need to be kept within the trust account for about 10 years post that event in order to maybe rehabilitate the mine for the next purchaser or to be able to assist with the environmental aspects that it could have caused into the neighboring communities. However, upon our investigations, we found that those particular funds were used for untoward behavior. And the reason that the DDG is in court, it's alleged, or we allege in court papers, that he signed off on the monies to be released from those particular trusts, because you do need permission from the Department of Mineral Resources in order to be able to do that. And then the other two accused stand accused of being the trustees and or directors that basically then siphoned the money off for other nefarious means. The one was for the purchase of Optimum Coal Mine, which was a guarantee for about 100,000 for the purchase of Optimum Coal Mine. So that is not why the funds were supposed to be used or why they were put in place. So those are our main allegations, and what they actually stand accused of, or the charges, preferred charges: corruption, fraud, money laundering, perjury, forgery, and uttering.
The matter returns to court when again, but of course there would be another court sitting to allow for Mr. Raphela to apply for bail when he is fit.
Yes, so when he's fit, he'll then communicate with the lead prosecutor in this regard, or the investigating officer. Another date will be set for him to actually come back to court for his bail hearing. Additionally, the matter is back in court on the 22nd of June. What we must also highlight, as the state, we're prepared. We have already disclosed our docket. We've furnished it in court at first appearance. So any other postponements that will come will be from the defense if they require further particulars or whatever other reasons.
Sindisiwe Twala, the National Prosecuting Authority, thank you very much indeed for your time. We appreciate it. Sindisiwe Twala from the National Prosecuting Authority indicating, of course, that the accused, Mr. Joel Raphela, who is still here at the court at the moment, we're still waiting for the ambulance to arrive here to take him for medical care, remains in police custody, or he remains under arrest, if I could put it that way. However, once then he is believed to be fit, he will then return to court to make his bail application. You know, the two other accused have now been granted bail of 20,000 rand each. So at this particular point, we're still waiting for the ambulance to arrive here at the Randburg Magistrates Court. All three of the accused were arrested this morning, and this, of course, relating to allegations of that more than 100 million rand dodgy deal.
Thanks very much, my colleague there, Chriselda.